As a wise man once said, never lick a cork man.
I love how this is how Aaron's show always
Yeah.
With him being bullied.
Yeah.
Welcome to my fucking show.
Now,
Um,
before we start, please, because I am the poor bastard who had to edit the last one that was 2.5 fucking hours, I am imposing a 90-minute time limit. For
why did
our
that
own
one go so long the last time?
You went on a tangent.
Because
I thought I went on the tangent.
No, there was a few tangents. In fairness, we had first of all there was 6 people. There was 5 or 6 people here, and this is one of these shows when there's more people here, it gets naturally longer. Because we all have different. We're all going around the table and seeing what we're all watching and all that sort of stuff. But the other problem was that you complaining that like it was going on so long you wanted to go to bed, and then immediately start talking for 40 minutes about Marvel. So, and then once it switched back to like our regular kind of schedule, going like, oh god, I'm so tired. It's like, yeah, you spoke for a fucking hour.
Yeah. Yeah, to be
So-
fair, it was a fucking disaster.
You did keep speaking over everybody else as well, actually. You did.
And I was guilty. We were both guilty of that, to be fair, which didn't look great in the edit. However.
Apparently, welcome to What We Watching, where we get mildly sexist and don't let women talk.
No, it is. Just don't get that drunk.
Yeah.
They're actually
Yeah.
able to have some
Honestly,
self-sensibility.
Marshmallows, Baileys.
Oh, I love marshmallow.
So as you can see, we have rocked out the Bailey's hot chocolates.
It's Christmas after all.
It is Christmas after all. Not sure when this video is going out, but it'll be close to it. We can see the
It's
Christmas
in
tree.
December, I don't care.
The Christmas tree is just in the background there, so that times it. But
You can see one limb.
yeah. So yes, Aaron, this is your show.
This is my show.
Take us away.
You
Welcome to
spilled
what?
that all over the table.
No, I didn't. That was me. It was overfilled. It
It was overfilled, yeah.
was overfilled.
So don't fucking blame me.
You have coasters in your home. You should be using them.
Don't fucking blame me.
I was literally discussing that with Jonathan. That was aimed at Jonathan.
It was aimed at me.
I'm just saying. You know, she would immediately just went, that is your fuck up.
I asked.
And Jonathan had to tell you, no, it's not.
I literally said, did you spill it? And Jonathan very quickly confirmed, no,
There was
I
just
did
judge.
it.
There was
I did.
judgment.
And then I completely moved my
When it comes to
judgment
you,
over
there's
to
always
Jonathan.
judgment.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's the first tangent of the day.
This time,
Keep it
I've
tight.
made a mission with this episode not to cause a fucking argument, because I have not watched anything that could cause a fucking argument. I have no differing opinions that I know is going to cause an argument, and the only one that I think may cause one is if I willfully make one. Okay?
Which is almost certainly going to happen.
No, I'm not going to willfully make one.
I love
because
how
that
like 3 people just don't believe the bullshit.
No, I don't
I
need
like
to
to
watch
find out as
it.
well. I have not been the same since I ate that rascal pizza. I am. I want to go to sleep.
Fantastic.
So
Lads, that's the solution. We just do the show after we feed him.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yes, that's
Let
how
the
it
food
works.
come and take him to show.
So, in saying that, welcome to my show.
Can't remember the name.
What we watching?
There we
Where we
Just
talk
say
about
you
what we
have to
watched.
think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I did actually.
Welcome to the episode of
But
What We
so
Watch.
basically, we'll just go around the table. We'll talk about
That
stuff
was
that we
what
watched
are
this
we
week.
watching? Oh my god, I'm so wrong.
He puts more cork in it. What are we watching, lads?
What are we watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Decent.
we'll start from Jonathan.
All
Work
right.
our way around.
Okay.
Jonathan, what were you watching this
Right,
week?
we just went going counterclockwise this time. I love it. Right, so I will say I'll come clean here. I know myself and Kira had the assignment of watching Superman and Lois. We haven't got to it yet because there's been a quick turnaround
Didn't know
between.
that was my assignment, thank you.
It's like
Someone doesn't watch the edits back.
No, in fairness, like we were like it was
No, I knew it was his assignment.
Oh no, he's
I never agreed to
Oh
it.
yeah, no. Aaron has been naming you in this all the time. Like he keeps saying.
At this point, I need to point this out. Tui, I talk about Jonathan. I just assume that Tui are fucking.
They are 2 different people.
I know, but they're in a relationship and they live
They're
with each
still-
other.
they're still
So I'm
2
assuming if
separate
Jonathan
people.
has to watch something, Kara's going to be in the room and probably going to watch.
Not
No.
necessarily.
That's fair
fairness.
enough.
No, I was able to watch Always Sunny when I had time off and stuff like
Oh,
that.
But
It's
I've
just
never seen him watch it.
yeah. Like,
Oh,
literally,
right, okay then.
I
Alright.
literally blitzed through it in like a day or two.
Kira has also.
Did you
actually
blitz
watched
all
Always
16
Sunny.
seasons?
Oh no enough
Oh!
enough to form an opinion like
Right,
the
Jesus
first few
Christ.
seasons, yeah.
Like fucking 16 seasons in 2 days. Just lying there by the end of it going, hey man.
Hey man.
Yeah, he didn't need it in IV.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, look, yes, we haven't got the Superman and Lois anyway. So I will complain on that because it's been a very quick turnaround between episodes and like we've had a lot of things on.
Yeah.
So we haven't had
Sports.
a lot of sports. We've had a lot of like live events and Just a
It's
lot
been
of
a
stuff
busy
happening.
month.
It's been a very busy month, exactly, and it's Christmas season now as well. So, ironically enough, by the time that this comes out, I probably would have been able to start watching it. But the show I did want to kind of mention, because again, we have a few seasons shows on the go. We finished the first season of Yellowstone since the last recording.
Oh, nice.
We've done The Bear. We're about to do the second season of The Bear soon enough. Again, by the time this comes out, we probably have watched it. We were kind of. I was kind of half in the bed in terms of my thoughts on Yellowstone until I finished the first season, and
Yeah, you're nay.
meh is the word I'd use. I think I need to give it another season, and I understand. Like, I think again, I've watched a lot of
death as a shock factor.
I
Quite a
hate
lot.
it a lot. It's. I've said it before that the show does a lot of pet peeves that for me personally that really really annoys me. I think any shows that kind of do that, I think kind of always lose a little luster. Mainly because, like, okay, it's either a cheap trick or you're kind of not brave enough with your writing to do something a bit more impactful. So all you can do is like, fuck it, kill him off. Fuck a dead horse or whatever. And that's what kind of annoys me, is the fact, like, okay, you don't really have much faith in your own character kind of like structure. So you have to like basically build one guy up and sack him off. Build one up,
Did
sack him off.
season 1 end on the cliffhanger?
No, it was actually a bit of a soft landing actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what? I actually kind of liked that.
They hadn't
yeah.
they hadn't been renewed at that point.
Yeah. So in a weird way, it was.
That's
kind of
why I'd say give it a second season a try.
I am. I do want to actually catch up on
Which
it.
is actually why they have so many. Everyone is killed off. The way they are is because they actually didn't know
Yeah.
if they were going to get a renewal on it, so they actually kind of had to do everything that they had planned for the season, and it does seem very fast forward.
Yeah.
In saying that, that was kind of a pet peeve of mine when I first watched it, but I fucking love Yellowstone. But it has an awful lot of things that I adore in TV shows, Cowboys being one of the main things.
I think it has a lot of style, is what I'm saying. I really, really.
I also
I
adore
think,
Kevin Costner in TV.
I think
Yeah,
maybe not so.
There's very little redeemable characters in it in season.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
not meant to. They're all, to be honest with you, they're all horrible.
I think
Yeah.
Casey is the only one and what's the
Casey?
wife called?
Casey.
Oh, that was,
Not Casey
I
himself.
was like,
No.
jeez, he kept that quiet.
The Native American.
Yeah, what's his wife called?
I was about to say Anna there, but it's not Anna.
No.
Fuck, that's gonna annoy me.
Yeah, the girl that had the accident. What was her?
Oh, she gets fucking put through a ringer.
Yeah. So like, so they end up.
They're the only ones that are kind of redeemable.
Yeah, the closest thing to an actual
Kind of
traditional.
and that's season 1.
They were the closest thing to what I would
Monica.
say. Monica, thank
you.
you. Yeah, like they were the closest thing to a traditional protagonist that we had until I think the sister is really kind of like, you know, obviously
I like Beth.
Beth is
I know,
really
like
yeah.
she's not a nice person, but I like her.
Do you know why I think so many women like Beth?
She says it as she is. She
It's
takes what she wants.
Because
and
she
is no
literally
thanks.
does things that every woman in the world wants to do.
Yeah.
Every woman in the world would love to be able to just tell it as it is.
Yeah.
Beat the fuck out of everyone that pisses them off. They all want to do
I
that.
have
And
the
Beth,
confidence
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do it.
And I think like
that
certainly
woman
as,
can have a beaten ass face and be looking like death rolled over, and you're still like, I fucking love you.
see that's what I was gonna say was that like, towards the end of the last 3 episodes of the season, you really got I got the sense that the writing staff or perhaps the production staff, whatever, they found their protagonist in Beth. And I don't know. I don't know whether like that was the intended thing, because I know that you're writing this in kind of like 10 episode structure, so you don't really know where like, you know, where things are going to come across, and you learn things in production. And you see acting performance, and you think, oh fuck, I think we actually got something
Or
here.
we
with
can
Beth.
need to lean into that or not
Yeah,
lean
exactly.
into others.
And that happens a lot. Like a lot of like characters like come forward, because like one person I'm actually going to mention later on is Colin Meaney. So Colin Meaney was someone where like once you gave him a ball, he fucking ran with it. In the show I'm going to be talking about later on. So yeah, Yellowstone. I think like the jury's out in Yellowstone for me. But I'd like to give a second season, possibly third, maybe even catch up to it, because I think there's enough there.
They're only on season 5.
They're
now.
season
I
5,
think
so
I think this actually is the last season.
And
as
it's
well.
an 8 episode run, isn't it? 8 to 10 episode run.
First season was 9 episodes. Second, third, and fourth, I think, were all 10 episodes.
Yeah. So it's the standard format.
This season 5, on December 15th, will be episode 14.
Cool. Okay. So yeah. So we're looking to get stuck into that now. Over the Christmas and giving it a go, and I'm hoping that like those kind of kinks that I was annoyed with, will be kind of ironed out a little bit, because they eventually just run out of characters to kill off. Like there was 2 in particular just kind of annoyed the fuck out of me. I was like, that's unnecessary. Like you've wasted the character. You've wasted all this time building him up, and then just attack him a few episodes later. I hate
To
that
be
shit.
fair, Gil,
Like
You
the
know.
whole
Son.
point of
The son, yeah. Well,
the whole
yeah.
point of building up a character is like, Grant, we want the audience to
invest.
invest
But it's
in this
absurd,
character.
is what I'm saying. Like,
But
yeah.
they know for a fact that this character is going to be killed off. The whole point of that
Mm.
is it's meant to have an impact on the audience. It's
Yeah.
meant to annoy you.
Well, here's the thing: the brother dying at in the first episode, absolutely. I think pilots are different because like the pilot is always like almost like timeline wise. That's the kind of the ground zero as it were. That always precipitates all the events.
Third episode, wasn't it?
Third, yeah.
Was it no the first episode where he died? No, there was a one of the sons died in the first episode. Was it the third episode? Damn. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it was the third episode. Fair
Like they
enough.
had to build up the cattle being
Yeah.
on the land of the Native Americans, and
I thought that was on the whole pilot. Jesus, that was a very. I thought it was a really busy pilot in that
No.
case. Yeah. In any case, yeah. So like him going, I think
we
is fair
watched
enough.
it in one stint.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, that's true. But like to say, like at least that precipitates events going forward. That there's a narrative reason for that. But the few other ones were like the guy that was like set up to be like kind of the rival hung on a tree. It's like fuck off, lads. Like that's give it a bit of time to breathe. It's hard. That's hardly gonna fucking happen. Or like the two tourists like fall into their deaths like by accident. And then again, it happened to the one guy who's like the kind of like really violent one in the end. It was kind of ironic, if anything. But still, like, lads, really? He's doing this. Like, I nearly counted all the episodes. There's a death in every one episode bar one, which I think is insane. It's such a high turnaround there. Like, it's ludicrous, you know.
Again, though, like for a first
Yeah.
season that they haven't been renewed yet, they kind of have to do that.
I think I'm just used to. I think it's because in the last while I've been watching shows where they actually retain the characters and they're not in the mood of killing people off.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
remember the Game of Thrones route.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
So Yellowstone was kind of started in the same kind of breeder that they were. So at that point in time,
Yeah.
that was what everyone expected to happen. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like waiting 5 years to actually start watching it. No one's in that kind of viewpoint anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
So you are. I'm sorry to say, Jonathan, you are very behind on the
No,
times.
but you're actually no. It's a fair point to raise. 'Cause
But that's, I think, at
Yeah.
that time to kind of have the audience interest had to be retained.
Yeah, it's
And
very
it's-
short term.
Exactly.
I get that. Yeah.
So
that's
that's
fair.
that is what is a reason that's behind it. But then it's also as well you have it was done very much like Dallas was, the original Dallas.
True. Yeah.
So when you if you take the synopsis for the original Dallas TV series, they're not ranchers, they're oilers.
Yeah.
But it's actually it kind of follows the
Very
exact
similar.
same.
It would be similar. Yeah. Yeah. It's
So-
it's
But
similar.
it all comes out to power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
So
I
that's
mean,
what
it's a story.
I mean.
It's a universal story in a sense.
Yeah.
Everyone relates to it. Yeah. So yeah, that's been one thing. So we kind of, as it were, properly ticked that box off, and we're going to be starting up again on it. And I suppose the last series we've watched between the two of us has been because we've done a bit of a Star Trek binge, or we kind of like do like
I
Star
don't
Trek
think
sprints.
you've ever done one of these shows where you haven't brought up Star Trek.
Well, I'm bringing,
Yeah, I'm feeling that,
I'm bringing,
actually,
I'm bringing it
It's like
formally.
me with Seinfeld. No one
Yeah.
does, you know.
It's gone
Yeah,
to
I'm
a
a little
point.
bit, yeah,
It's
yeah.
gone to a point now where I'm like, I wonder what else he's going to talk about besides Star Trek.
Yeah, but I'm bringing it formally this time.
No, what happens is we watch a full series and then so we rotate out. So we've watched all of up to date of Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
We are still watching. We
NC
haven't watched in a while. NCIS.
Yeah,
we
we're
need to
so
go
it
back
started
to
Los
that.
Angeles. Yeah.
We had watched all of Star Trek: The Next Generation. The next one is Deep Space Nine.
Hmm.
So we rotate out.
I think
one
going
season
forward for
to
this
another.
TV show for you, let's just talk about what movies you have been watching. Because it's always going to be the same TV.
Kira's going to take the mantle on that one, but no. So I wanted to mention Deep Space Nine, and I think I kind of signposted this to you earlier, Aaron, about like as it's kind of a fascinating thing. Like, with I think I said at the time that science fiction you can always get in two different flavors. You can get it where it's like a fun action like romp, and there's no kind of like lasting kind of consequences, and that's your kind of like your Star Wars kind of like take your pick of like Babylon 5 or stuff like, or not Babylon 5.
I was just about to say, hold your wish there on
Yeah.
Star Wars because considering you don't watch it,
No, but but they're like it's more like they're action movies though, like to a certain
you
degree.
haven't watched any of the shows.
Not the shows, no, but the movies are action
I wouldn't
movies.
say the movies were action movies.
No, I'd have said they were more adventure.
Yeah, adventure,
Yeah.
action adventure. Yeah. Well, I'm saying like the TV shows for
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
adventure, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm holding me wishing that one. But like the other flavor is like the kind of
It's very Star Trek, Star Wars, isn't it?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like Stargate's there as well. There's other ones there. That's what I was gonna.
Stargate's all different.
I was gonna bring up other ones.
Mind my baby.
See, I told you I wasn't going to start.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
Didn't
expect
say they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I
but
expect them to do it.
but I say
I
like
thought you were asleep.
I am sitting there just so comfortable slipping into that couch again.
yeah, that happens.
And that was actually I've stayed sitting up
Yeah.
at this point because I know for a fact that as soon as I lean back, I'm gone.
It is
Like,
a
I
trap.
am
It is
gone.
it is a trap. I fully
It's not,
accept that.
no, it's not even the couch trap at this point. It's just like Amy at this point. It's like you're still really quite tired.
Yeah,
Amy.
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, one of the other flavors you can get science fiction in is the kind of social commentary side of it. Because again, one thing about science fiction that is always, and again, this comes from more so from the Star Trek side, but other kind of stuff is kind of thrown in there as well. Where they take a contemporary issue and just like basically just put it in a science fiction sphere. So
That happens across all sci-fi.
all sci-fi, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like Stargate does it a couple of times. Battlestar Galactica is big for it.
The Orville does it a lot.
The Orville does it a lot as well. Yeah, so that's kind of permeated through. So like Deep Space Nine in particular is kind of hammered in with the social commentary, because they've obviously had like great loads of races, and most like Star Trek shows tend to focus on one or two in particular. The original series is all about Klingons and to a certain degree the like Romulans or other aliens of the day, let's say, but they always used to do like humans for the most part. Whereas Next Generation, they were mad for their Borg, their Ferengi, all this sort of stuff. But they used to introduce other ones. And Deep Space Nine hammered into the Bajorans and the Cardassians. So the Cardassians are the one that look a bit like scorpions or snakes, whichever you prefer.
I
And
wouldn't say Kim Kardashian looks like a scorpion.
I'd say she's more like a lizard.
Lizard,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
They're
more
cold-blooded either way, one way or another.
Those
But
dead
dead
eyes.
eyes.
If there was one person there who would love to get the opinion on that, would be Chloe, because she's got a lot of opinions put together.
Yeah, I can imagine. But like again, the funny thing about the Cardassian like design as well is solely based on the first person that was in the makeup had a really long neck, so just based the entire like fucking design on him because he had a really long neck.
My God, you're like a giraffe.
It happens a lot. Like fucking sort of like Armin Zimmerman was the template for Ferengis because he had a massive fucking like bald head, so just put massive prosthetics on him and made it bigger. Like
He would shoot Deep Space Nine and then go and shoot Buffy.
on the same day,
Oh no way.
but like
Because
it's
Buffy
like
was doing night shoots.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like yeah, so you,
Oh yeah, you mentioned that last time we talked about this. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
3 hours of makeup, then do his bits, de-garb, de-makeup.
Already mentioned.
Yeah, already mentioned. So, but the Cardassian Bajoran one is interesting because, like, looking back on it, like watching Deep Space Nine now, is kind of
You're like a producer. Fucking move on to the next.
keep
topic.
going.
We've
Yeah,
already
exactly.
talked
Yeah,
about it. We already talked about it. Turn off the red light.
You've given out about how long it is, so move
yeah.
on.
No, fair point.
You can't give it to Aaron for pulling it like exactly.
Yeah, I know,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
without, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Grant.
I'm gonna stop talking now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love you.
Thank you.
I feel attacked.
But it's funny kind of watching Deep Space Nine now, and kind of them talking about for those uninitiated, the Cardassians basically occupied Bajor.
All I hear is Kardashian.
Yeah, again,
That's all I hear.
if that helps to get you in the mood, go for it. But they were the they were
Do you fucking know who I am?
no.
The visceral hate.
Visceral hatred, yeah.
It sits well.
Yeah, but they were the opposing power. They have
Don't do this when I go home.
they occupied the planet for 100, 200 years and ravaged it. They took all the land, took all the resources, and just took it for themselves. That sounds a bit familiar in this current political climate, doesn't it?
We need an egg timer.
Hey, have you not noticed Amy's tuned out?
I fucking know. So, like,
Yes. For the people who are actually paying attention,
yeah,
colonizer colony.
pretty much, yeah.
Repetition
Yeah.
throughout history.
And the same, and yeah, especially considering what's happening nowadays. Now it's like it's quite kind of like it has a very nuanced kind of take on it, to some degree, because you're basically jumping in when the Bajorans are starting to rebuild, and the Cardassians are away, but they're not really away. So they have to all the other kind of powers in the quadrant have to kind of like make do and try and live with both sides essentially. And it is always that kind of
Isn't this Germany after World War II?
I don't.
How
No.
they tried to
No,
rebuild while everyone else around them is already kind of like, okay, well, we actually can't take the resources because we've all signed the fucking treaty that we weren't going to take the resources, but you still have to pay back everything for this.
I think it'd be more.
It's the not rebuilding after Good Friday.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair.
that'd be more like it. Yeah, because again, the
British are involved, but they're keeping their hands off.
yeah, because again, this would have been made in the mid '90s, so that would have been very relevant at the time. But I think even the writers,
One of the
I
band
think.
episodes was the reunification of Ireland gets mentioned. So
Oh,
BBC
yes.
band.
Yeah,
yeah.
just that throwaway line,
Yeah.
like that got the whole thing banned. But it was all the whole episode was about like terrorism.
Isn't that
just-
next year? That's meant to happen.
This
It's
year.
meant to be
This year,
This
or
year?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So again, by the time this comes out, oops, too late. But again, so like
Jesus, Mary, you dropped the ball.
but I think there was other ones like there was I think the source material was about the Haitian revolts against I think the French, I believe. Back in the 1900s, where a lot of Haitians came back on like French boats and basically took back the country, and that was the kind of and so the source material was like how did Haiti rebuild, how did a lot of the kind of Caribbean rebuild from the Commonwealth, that sort of stuff, the South American countries from Spain and Portugal, all this sort of stuff,
India.
and India, yeah, exactly. India's a good example of that too.
It's actually funny that you mentioned Haiti because the thing I'm going to talk about actually involves Haiti.
Interesting. Okay, so I can pass the book to you then when we do that. And yeah, so like it's so we're on the third season now, and they're kind of like they're shifting more towards the kind of the bigger, badder villain, which is the Dominion arc. So that's not really as relevant.
Farted.
But yeah, that happens a lot.
Fuck, that's right up my nose too.
That happens quite a bit actually. Yeah. It means she likes you.
It means I'm so comfortable around you. I'm gonna actually just puff out my essence. Right? When I was
Oh, that sounds even worse than
Yes.
when I was dog sitting, I actually had to text Kira and Jonathan at separate times and like, is the dog ill? And they were like, no,
No,
why?
she's just nuclear.
They were like, no,
right
why? What happened? I was like, she's after farting, and then straight away I was like, oh no, that's normal for her.
Yeah, that's actually quite
I'm
standard. Yeah.
so glad my nose is slightly blocked.
So yeah, so like I said, the early seasons of Feast of Nine has been an interesting little kind of like, you know, as Kira said, like the history does really kind of run in circles between colonizer and colonized, because like you look what's happening in the,
It's woken you up though, Aaron, hasn't it?
you know, yeah, smelling salt,
Basically smelling salt, yeah.
yeah, and again it's been a take again like there's also like this them like great fucking actors in as well, and sometimes they're one offs as well, and you see there okay that guy's in and he does like a decent role. I can't remember who the one that we saw recently is kind of temporarily escaped me, but he was in the Marquis Resistance. Name's gone now, anyway, but like you see him show up, it's like, oh yeah, holy fuck, he's good. But it's also like they gave a lot of like, you know, more energy to the likes of like Colin Meaney for like basically just doing such hard work in the Next Generation, where he just basically let him rebuild his character. Armin Zimmerman we mentioned as well, being able to basically redo the Ferengi in his own image, and then Andrew Robinson, who's just a brilliant actor. Who like under the character Garrick is just one of these great morally ambiguous character, and again being a kind of exile from his own country. Again, that there's comparisons to that as well amongst many people over history, and which side is he actually on? Is he, you know, a spy for his own people, or is he against them? That sort of stuff.
What was his character name?
Garrick. G-R-I-K, yeah.
G-R-I.
G-A-R-A-K. And like he said, he when he put the prosthetics on, he kind of like Andrew Robinson like is one of those actors like
the table as a counterweight.
yeah.
I just needed to get my right foot out to give myself the base to go, and it was just like, I'm not moving.
And yeah, the dog is mildly amused by
She
your
is
antics.
very comfortable there.
Andrew J. Robinson, I think her name is, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Hellraiser.
He was, yeah. He was Scorpio
That's who
in.
he was talking about. He was talking about a guy who was in. I can't remember his name either, but he's one of those career one episode guys.
Yeah.
Been in everything across the board, from all the Law and Orders
Yeah.
to the CSIs to the Star Trek, Stargate,
He's like in everything. Like he's like one of those. He's like a Tony Todd figure that just shows up in anything and just knocks it out of the
I
park.
know him from somewhere. Where
Yeah.
do I know him from?
As like, well, and again, like that's the joy of something like
This is one of those dudes as well.
Oh, Andrew Robinson. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
So
like
it's
it's
not Garrick then.
yeah,
Yeah, but he's one of the mainstays in that.
yeah.
Okay, no, I was trying to figure out which was the one that you were thinking of.
Louise Fletcher. Kai Wynn, that's who I was thinking of. So Louise Fletcher shows up as kind of one of the main nemesis, and she's just a fucking phenomenal gaslighter.
Yeah, there's been a fair few.
There's so many, like, yeah. Again, it's a great cast because, like, I think a lot of people can get put off at Star Trek because of the Next Generation, how clean and sterile it is. Whereas Deep Space Nine has gone the opposite way, where it's gone like Wild West. Everyone's morally ambiguous. But yeah, like I said, I find it's particularly relevant nowadays, especially with what's going on between Russia and Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. It's just, as I said, it runs in circles. So we're at season 3 now. So season 4 is when it kind of like switches down to different source material, but the same energy is still there. Just all different allies and then like relationships, pacts, all this sort of stuff. Very geopolitical.
You like how intertwined and
Yeah.
complicated it is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's DS9. So
Just all the areas going. It's very bad.
it is bad.
Probably want to take over your hosting duties there now, Aaron.
Dave keeps tagging me in the group chat.
Yeah,
I
that's.
think I may fly over to Scotland later on and beat the shit out of him and then fly back home.
That would actually be quite funny. Can you film that? Can you? That would be great.
I'd try it. Oh, he's over here in a couple of weeks. I'll beat the shit out of him then.
There you go. That works out. Yeah.
So besides those ones, like here, what else have you been watching?
Bitch!
I literally told you to do it,
You had
and
your
you
chance.
didn't. And you
we were
ignored.
joking
You
here, but
ignored
we
the point
beat
that
the
I
shit out
made.
of
You
Dave.
literally ignored the point that I made. Continue to talk to Jonathan, like you did last week, ignoring the woman in the room. So I moved on to Kira because you didn't seem to be. Kira, dear, what have you been watching?
So we're home yesterday after watching Wicked, which I hadn't seen the trailers for, hadn't listened to the soundtrack, considering that I'm obsessive about the musical.
I have a question for you because
Yes.
I probably won't get to see it in cinemas,
Yes.
right? So this is going to be a spoiler alert. Asking question: do they actually break up Defying Gravity?
No.
They don't.
No.
Do they do the cutscenes though in it?
As in,
As in, they're cutting between her singing and the guards rushing up. They do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Because the way people have been complaining about it online have literally been saying, oh, it's ridiculous. They're cutting Defying Gravity. And I was like, bitch, have you ever seen the stage play? That's literally everything that happens in the stage play is what you are describing that happens in the movie.
they've
unless they're
only
cutting
listened
the
to
song.
soundtracks.
Yeah.
That's what
They've
it
only
is.
listened to the versions that have been released.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the whole thing about, I hope you're happy, that's still in it. The Unlimited, in the middle of it,
Mhm.
done really well. I really enjoyed that part of it. And they have them, like, the way in the musical that it's meant to depict them going to the top of the Dragon Clock Tower.
Yeah.
That actually happens.
Oh,
And
It's a very good set
it
piece, actually.
gives
Yeah.
it so much
Yeah.
depth.
That's good. I'm glad to know that.
I know they planted like 9 million tulips for the set of Munchkinland.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could tell the effort that went into this steps.
They actually use physical
It
sets.
actually
Yes,
used physical
Jesus.
sets.
Oh no, Aaron. Honestly, when you see some of the sets,
That was actually one of the biggest reasons as to why it was so expensive.
Yeah.
They actually did use sets.
They
for
really
it.
put the effort
It's
into
a
this.
massive selling point for movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Very impressed with Jonathan Bailey. Fiyero is a bitch of a character and a bitch of a vocal range
Yeah.
to play. It's in such a weird little niche of a key.
I'll be honest, I never actually had any doubt that he wouldn't be able to pull it off.
I have seen Wicked 7 times, and I think I've liked Fiyero once, including seeing Adam Garcia as Fiyero. I didn't like him either.
Yeah.
He was a great dancer as Fiyero, couldn't sing for shit.
Oh, he can't at all, can he? I was like, I'm glad I'm
And
not
his
doing
acting
this.
was
He's not a stage actor at
No.
all. The man does not know how to scream. He doesn't know how to do stage presence. You
give him
can
his tap
tell.
shoes and let him away.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll watch him all day.
Yeah.
Absolutely no problem with that. I've seen a lot of different ones. There's been some that have been okay singers, okayish dancers. Some of them have been fantastic dancers, meh singers. Some have been woeful singers. I think I've seen one Fiyero that I like.
Sorry!
It's your show.
My brother checks me.
I don't give a fuck. She's literally talking.
I know. I
to
did.
you.
I had to read something my brother
She's
sent me. That was
literally
all.
talking to you, and you're just looking at your phone the entire. What was the last thing Kira said?
I didn't listen because I was reading something from my brother. I am sorry.
What was the first thing Kira said?
It's not about Wicked. And what about the sets? And I just kind of, my brother texts me.
Take the phone off him.
Take
the phone off him. Thank you.
Right, I'll just put it here. Right.
Thank you.
To go back to the physical sets, the fact I love the fact that Jonathan Bailey asked for his horse from Bridgeton.
I know.
That was
It's
an
just
adorable.
the
little piece
motherfucker
of
is so
information.
bloody. Oh, if he turns out to be a nonce, I'm gonna be so fucking devastated.
God.
I swear to God.
But the actual scene of dancing through life, actually being in the library.
What's your favourite song from musical or from Wicked?
I have several, depending on my mood.
Does that okay? What I mean is,
But
okay,
if I take Defying Gravity out of it,
just the one song that's like every time you hear it, you're just like,
I'm Not That Girl.
no good deed.
I love that too.
No good deed. If I'm in that mood where it's just like everything is going to shit in my life,
And
I'm
I
just
just
like,
need to vent.
I have to get my
belt.
frustration in, so
Yeah.
I will literally
Yes.
belt No Good Deed out to the extent where my
God,
family, my mom knows now. She's like, oh, she's had a bad
She had a bad day.
she's had a day where literally we should probably just feed her alcohol. No Good Deed.
Carbs
is
and
like-
booze should be fine.
I genuinely
Protein
think
and
No
booze.
Good Deed is probably one of my favourites. Is probably my favourite song from Wicked, and Not That Girl would be a very close second. Because I genuinely think, as much as I love Defying Gravity, I think it's just the niche answer that everyone goes for. It's like if you're literally just turning around and saying Defying Gravity is your favourite song, it kind of means that you're not really paying attention to the rest of the musical.
Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like I always associate the song with the scene in the same way. Like, but I'm like that with most musicals. I always try car back to the scene and or the kind of delivery or something. But like, if you tell me the title of the song, it probably wouldn't resonate. But if I hear it back again, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So I kind of see where you're coming from.
Isn't the point as well of Broadway musicals to have one song that's like, it may not be the most like focal point of the whole show, but it's like the song from the show.
No.
Not necessarily, no.
If
There's
you're-
always-
if
but
you're
there is
talking-
always one.
if
There
you're
is
talking-
always one. That always how it ends
so
up.
I think
but that's-
Defying Gravity seems to be just
No.
that
No.
one, no?
Les
No.
Mis. What song did you pick from Les Mis? Cats. What song did you pick from Cats? I'm just picking a random.
See,
So that's
I think Cats is a really bad example of that.
It does also
Because
fat me
Memories
because
is
I
the
don't
only
watch
song people remember from Cats.
I think
Whereas I
Les
wouldn't
Mis is a
be
good.
into-
Les Mis is one where like there is
Well,
like
Les
there
Mis
is
is a good example.
yeah.
Hamilton.
I can't pick one from Hamilton.
Rumored Happen is the first that comes to mind. But that like
But
that
again, like
yeah.
that's a matter of choice.
matter of choice
Yeah.
exactly. It's just like what's your earworm?
It's
That's
like
basically
if
it's
I'm
like,
gonna go for like my favorite one from Hamilton, like Rumor Happens, it's good. It's not one of my favorites.
is it Burn? Is it?
Burn
Oh,
is
Burn's brilliant.
Burn
Yeah.
is beautiful and it's fantastic as long as you have the actress that can actually sing it correctly and
Exactly,
bring the
yeah.
emotion to it. That's great. But I do love the Reynolds pamphlets. I do love Hurricane. I also love Quiet Uptown.
Yeah.
I
Quiet
think
Uptown is
Quiet
good.
Uptown
Yes.
is the one.
Underrated song.
So I
Yeah.
think Quiet Uptown is probably the most beautiful song in that entire musical because you can really feel the emotion that they have in it. Is that these two people are trying to rebuild their lives.
Yes.
She doesn't really want him around anymore, but she knows she can't leave him in this, and he's just desperate for her forgiveness.
Yeah.
And to the extent where he's given her all the space in the world that she needs. He's not trying to
Encroach.
he's literally he's like, I'm still going to do everything as is, but I'm not going to I'm not going to encroach on your space. I'm giving you all the time in the world to come. And it's only by the end of it when she's like, okay, I do forgive you for this because you've kind of proven that you did do what you should have done. Like he knows where his mistakes were made.
Yeah.
I just think that's the best. I think that's the most beautiful song in that musical.
Just on that
It's
point,
just subtle.
yeah, subtle, yeah. Like on that point, like to kind of like to perhaps put it into like analogous terms for Aaron. Like think of what can you think of an album like an actual album where like you can't think of any bad song. There's an album you think like that is absolutely platinum start to finish. So whatever album you think it is, that's a Les Mis, that's a Hamilton or whatever.
Probably
And,
Kanye
like,
West Come On.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
Graduation.
Right, so we everyone has that, right? Like I have one, like I think there's a Pendulum album where all the songs are perfect, are absolutely fine. They all have their lane and they're all absolutely ideal for whatever situation you want. That's a Les Mis, that's a Hamilton, and they all are different emotional levels, high levels. I think what you're thinking of sometimes, I think it's sometimes people put like musicals
It's fast
in.
fashion.
It's fast fashion, exactly. Yeah, that's a good example of it. Because I'll always have like, I know from the amount of musicals I'm absorbing, I always think of this one song that makes me remind me of a musical, and then the rest comes to mind then. So like with Kinky Boots, it's always
The History.
History of Bad Guys. That's it. Again, same thing. I can't remember the name of it, but I know this. I know the song.
Well, I know you.
I don't know. You know me. And then like the one with Rent is the
525,000
600 minutes.
Really? That's the one that goes for rent?
That starts off, and then I think of the Bohemian one. The Bohemian one is then second down.
La Vivo Part 1.
Yeah, La Viva
Straight
Went,
off
yeah.
for me
Yeah.
is like is top notch. But I
Yeah.
also like
Whereas,
Goodbye
like,
Love.
Out Tonight.
Out Tonight is a fucking tune.
Yeah.
I also actually love, and it's literally it's only the roundabout.
Mm.
When they're doing it.
Yes.
When they're in the meeting, when they're in the age meeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that one. I'm just like, oh, that like hurt. That it's like it's not even like it's literally it's just
Yeah.
that's the one, and it's just like it just kind of draws you in. But Goodbye Love for me, and it upsets me. So, like that is just
I
I
bawl
think
at
that's
the time.
perfect.
I always love the little.
I hate the Halloween rock cut as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say I love
Yeah.
Halloween. I love that little.
Yeah. So like I said, I think like it's in certain musicals where like I don't think you can really
Santa Fe.
discern a actual favourite because I think everyone will have one that remembers. You know,
Oh yeah, no, I really
For
just think
me.
it's just like, for me, just because I don't watch musicals, I suppose most people would have one song that I think people go, oh, I know that's from that. Might not have watched
it's
it.
the artist association. It's how you associate
You
things.
see,
as well.
that's. I think it also depends on how you've been introduced to musicals. I think the more modern musicals and the way that it comes across on social media and things like that, it has come across like that. And to an extent, it probably comes from, like stars like Colin T. Wilkinson, Sarah Brightman, and things like, and even Madonna. She was Evita.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Like Antonio Banderas, people forget he was
Yeah.
in. Like, and like I keep telling you, one of my core memories is in the car growing up. My dad had a tape,
Yeah.
and on one side was Colin T. Wilkinson, and the other side was Mary Black. But the songs for Colin T. Wilkinson were "Man of La Mancha," "Phantom of the Opera," "Bring Him
And
Home."
you played some of them, and holy fuck, man! Like
Yeah.
the guy's got lungs that fucking burn. Like,
Yes.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, I think, like, as you kind of put it well there, it's how you associate them initially, and then that's how your brain kind of,
Okay,
kind of
Yeah.
opens
So
from there.
I
Yeah.
associate certain songs with certain people
Yeah.
to a degree.
it.
My brain's also weird. Once I hear somebody sing the song, I hear
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So like any of the stage versions that I've been in, that's the version I hear in my head.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
But then you don't always like. Amy asked me what my favorite song for Wicked is, and it depends on my mood. And you'd be very similar, like that. No Good Deed is your song for belting it out. I would have playlists depending on the mood. Of different and then I also obsess. So like I've already been listening to Wicked 3 times.
Yeah, you kind of burn out. Well, you kind of burn out to a certain degree, and then once you whatever is left is what stays in the playlist. And I'd be the same. Like, in fairness, I burn out a song, and then it's either good or bad, or stays in the playlist or whatever.
Yeah. So to bring it back then to the actual movie,
Mm.
they didn't depart from the musical
Yeah, like I don't
Not
get anything at all.
in that way.
That
What
seems
was-
to be the one.
Here's
one thing people are saying from it. Is
well,
it's
see,
like,
here's the thing is.
it's
Very
Here's-
dedicated.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing is, right? They are doing a movie adaptation of the musical.
Exactly. That's
They're
why
not
I
doing
asked
a
this
mov-
question.
They're not doing a movie adaptation of the book.
Yes.
Because if they did a movie adaptation of the book, you would have people walking out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The book has a very, very detailed scene of a tiger orgy. That's
What about that?
Is
I
that the
haven't
part
read
of the
this
book
in
where
about 10
where
years.
he was like, people are going to zone out? I
No,
need to get
no,
them back.
no,
No.
no, no. This was very much his comment on racism at a point, and kind of how women were treated in these particular types of parties at the time. So the metaphorical view of this is the tiger is actually meant, like, you're meant to realize in a metaphor the tiger is a woman, and what they do to the tiger is what they would have done to a woman in this group. And an awful lot of people who have seen the movie have all run out and bought the book, because the
Not
cover
realizing
that they have on the book is Ariana Grande, and they all think it's the book version of Wicked, because they don't realize that the book.
That makes
They
sense.
They don't
now, 'cause
realize. They don't realize that the musical is based on a book.
that's been going around TikTok.
Oh, sure.
Or
It's
people
the-
going,
it's
wait
the
till you get to this part.
This
I was
book.
like, what?
Now this
No, but
book.
this
That
is the
makes
same
sense.
as your one going out and getting a tattoo of Tamlin
Yeah.
from A Court of Thorns and Roses.
And
while
then
reading the rest of
realising
the book and
and
realising
then
he's the asshole.
He is literally like not the character you want tattooed on your body.
Yeah.
You would actually take the cheese grater yourself to get rid of it. Like that's where you're at this. But it's really, see, this is the thing is, so I read the book Wicked at a very, very young age. Because you didn't know really at the time. My mum wasn't reading the fucking book. She saw it was based on the witches of the Wizard of Oz and was like, my daughter will probably really be into this. It does explain some of my book choices now as an adult. Yes, please.
You're losing your voice on that.
Yeah,
TV, so.
it does explain my book choices now as an adult as to why I'm into this type of shit.
Vodka Please Plus.
But it is one of those things. An awful lot of people are thinking that they're watching a movie adaptation of a musical adaptation of a book, and they took very, very little from the book source material at all. They literally took the names and the characters and the places and that. Anything that happened did it. Like, it's a very fucked up book. But again, it was a book that was written in the 90s, and at the time it was like, no one bat an eyelid at shit
It was
like
written
that.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
But here's
I would have just based purely off the fact of how old the Wizard of Oz is. I would have just
Yeah.
assumed
No, no.
maybe the 40s or the
Can I
50s.
actually, as someone who has seen The Wicked, and also has seen a shit ton of The Wizard of Oz
Thank
as
you.
well, now that you kind of know the backstory, do you think Dorothy had such a hard time trying to get the Scarecrow and the Tin Man to get along with one another? Because it's like, Fiyero be like, this fucking bitch, look what you did to me. I'm glad you're a fucking Tin Man now. Fuck you. The cowardly line, and Dorothy be like, no, pick a fucking corner and go kill him off.
It's like it's kind of similar to how
Dorothy's like, wow, that's really aggressive for a dude that has no brain.
was it American McGee did a take on Alice in Wonderland, and it was like just kind of flip the whimsical nature out of it and just like kind of reveal what the actual like kind of the fable or the parable is. And I think there's another kind of series that did that as well, where it's basically just like, okay, I'm actually going to take the sheen off it and say this is what the story is. Whereas like the book itself is called Wicked, isn't the
Yeah.
book? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sequel is Son of a Witch.
Son of a Witch, yeah. So
Which I haven't read.
yeah,
I actually haven't. I haven't read it either.
interesting.
Do you know what? I actually think I was traumatized by Wicked.
You don't think
I generally thought, I was like, fuck, actually, what the hell are they going to do in this one?
Yeah.
So I think I kind of held off. Part of me actually does kind of want to reread Wicked, though, because the thing that kind of stood out to me was all the bad shit. And I'm kind of interested to go back to it as an adult and reread it. Just to see if it still freaks me out as much as
But
See what you take different out of it.
Yeah.
So what you will pick up on more so, and I think you definitely pick it up because Kira's very good in actually keeping me out of the loop completely in terms of Wicked when we went to the musical.
I don't think that would be difficult to do. No offense, Jonathan.
No, as in like, well, no, it's like, well, no, Kira will sometimes like show me like a song from it or show me a clip of it, like this is why you like this musical, but she didn't do that with this one. She said, "This is my favorite musical. I kind of want you to kind of go in,
Oh,
What's
kind
going
of
blind?
go in blind."
I think going into Wicked blind is the only way to do it, because I have yet to come across someone that doesn't like it.
I have not shown him anything from the Book of Mormon.
which we're
Other
going to see
than-
next
He's
year.
gonna fucking
Other than
love that.
hello.
Mhm.
Yes,
He's
I know.
gonna fucking
Oh,
love
I know.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oh, I know.
I did similar with Kinky Boots.
Yeah, we watched Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
Oh no, was it?
I didn't tell you anything about it
No.
before we did.
Nor Rent either.
Yeah.
We just watched it.
Yeah.
I think Rent is also one of those ones where it's like, you know what, you actually will just sit here. You don't need anything going
Yeah,
into
you
that
will
one.
be
You
immediately.
will be immediately
pulled in.
pulled in.
Exactly, yeah. But like certainly from me going into it, like what
I
really
find-
what really takes you back. Sorry, Amy, to cut across
No,
you. What really surprised you, and again, perhaps Aaron, so you haven't watched it, you haven't read the book, haven't watched the musical or the
Oh, I'd
movie.
be going into this completely fucking
Completely blind, right? What, and perhaps this is like kind of like take away from you, but perhaps even when you watch it now, you might actually pick up on it quicker. Is that the movie itself? You're thinking, oh, it's like a kind of like an alternate take on the Wizard of Oz. If you just really be very simplistic and be unfair to the work and say it's a prologue to the Wizard of Oz, you miss out everything, because what it is actually a stark amount of social commentary. Because like the animals are clearly a metaphor. There's clearly societal stuff that they're talking about, left, right, and centre. It's very obvious. It's not even remotely trying to hide it, and the very sheer level of injustice that that you feel as I suppose that Elphaba feels herself is what you should be feeling and how you're relating to it. Yeah. So
Well, you can see it happening.
it's brewing. Yeah, it's brewing.
It's in Act 1 of the musical. She wasn't exactly like, she wasn't a cunt, but
Princessy type
but
of
like she wasn't exactly helping Elphaba either.
No.
Yeah, she's a fucking brat at the start.
Yeah.
Like essentially, when you boil Wicked down,
She's a cunt
to-
in the book for right off the mark.
yeah, when you boil Wicked down to one sentence as to what it's actually trying to achieve, it's showing you that all that matters is the point of view.
Yes.
Right.
What you're being told only depends on the point of view.
Okay.
Ever.
He's gonna forget that.
If it does that, but like it's
So,
also
but like,
No,
but
I
like,
guarantee you, right? There'll be one thing I'll take from this, and I'll go into that movie, which I might probably see next Friday. And it's probably one of those things where I won't take anything else in but that, and then I'll look at it just waiting to see what I'm gonna.
listen.
think of it,
There's
like-
gonna be
It
two.
is
There's
a
gonna be two
part
scenes
two.
in particular.
Yeah.
to
I know
choose
it's gonna be a
also
part
part
two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
history is made by the people who win. History
Yeah.
is recorded by the people who win.
Remember that going in to watch it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Wicked.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm since now finding out little tidbits and Easter eggs, and are you going to see it?
Not in cinemas. I'll watch it when it comes onto my Fire Stick. Which
It's
is
already
totally,
on ours.
just totally legal and not at all.
Yeah.
It's on
Um,
She
Amazon.
means she's going to see it inside the cinema.
Yes.
There's-
Take good hard-earned cash to do it.
Just like I did with Deadpool versus Wolverine.
There's lots of nods to The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
There's lots of little hat nods and cameos.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard some. Yeah.
Which are fantastic. They have expanded some of the songs,
Cool.
like One Short Day, for cameo reasons. But it is not. It doesn't take away,
Okay, good.
and it fits in.
So it's actually one of the one times where it actually adds to it as opposed to.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's giving history.
That's good.
Explanations, particularly around the Grimmery.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay, I do like that.
I like the depiction of the Grimmery.
Looks
And
yeah.
look, I have. That's
Yeah.
actually one thing I'm like. That's
Yeah.
probably the thing I'm actually most looking forward to is just to see how they've
Yeah.
actually created.
Yeah.
I will say to their absolute credit, like even when we were watching it last
I
night,
just want to see shiz.
yeah. But I was
Stunning.
yeah,
I'm
it
dying
really
to
is.
see- I'm dying to
Yeah.
see what shiz looks like.
But I was actually so
Shiz
impressed.
is the name of the school.
Yeah, it's the
The University.
university. Yeah.
The one change, actually, that is a major change for me that I noticed was Elpha was never going to Shiz.
Oh yeah.
She was attending. I don't know whether or not to tell you this now.
No, go ahead.
They were bringing Nessa Rose
Yeah.
to Shiz to attend, and the father says, "Make sure she settles into her room,"
Yeah.
and that's when the
They-
kerfuffle with the room happens.
Okay.
The thing with the wheelchair happens. When she says no, and that is seen by Madame Marble, so therefore she is now attending.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So,
So-
it's a movie narrative
It
reason for it.
extends out
Yeah.
this narrative
Yeah.
of like, you know, we all know the dad doesn't like her. Why
Yeah.
would he? Why would he send her to
Yeah,
university?
Exactly, yeah.
true, yeah.
So it fits in with everything.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's the first actual like proof that she has powers outside of the flashback as well.
yeah,
So
there are some flashbacks of her growing up.
I
and
was just
stuff
going to
like
say,
that.
does it actually give the background as to why she's so hated?
relatively quickly, I'd say.
Like, is it
It's-
kind of
Yeah.
is it kind of like a throwaway mention as to why he hates her so much?
Oh no, that is full on mentioned.
Full on
That is-
mentioned,
that-
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
explained.
Oh, no, that's what I
like
wanted-
it-
yeah, that's what I just
Yeah.
wanted to
yeah.
That's to say,
Yeah.
the best way to describe it is like nothing's been actually anything that's in the musical is in the movie, and nothing's been taken away.
Yeah.
Stuff
It's
has
just
been
been
added.
added into it.
Has
yeah.
been added.
That's
yes.
right. No, that's
Um,
right.
It's been
Glad
very,
for
it was
that.
very faithful to the musical, I must say. It really, really was.
The one piece of information I was told was that Stephen Schwartz wanted to update Popular and give it a more of a hip hop feel.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande said no,
Well, that's good because
because she's like, I don't want people to come to see Ariana Grande as
yeah, that's the
Oh,
thing
well,
is, it's like
see,
I
That's
think
the
it's
in
one
there.
song I know from that musical that's popular, and that's because of TikTok. That's the reason I.
But here's the-
thought in
here's
my
the
head
thing,
of
you
there
see.
being one song from a musical.
I
that seems
will
to-
say
yeah,
one
and you know
thing.
the funny thing is that's why he's seen that because of the dog videos. You will be popular.
They do scenes where it's showing that hatred growing.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's very well done, actually.
Very very well done before it goes into that into what is this feeling?
Hmm.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
I
really,
like
it's
that.
really good. I have to
Yeah.
say, it's really, really good. And I have to say, Ariana Grande, I don't get like what was the actual? Because I'm out of the loop here. I'm not on TikTok or anything like that.
She
What-
slept with Buck. That was the whole issue with that. She had an affair with the co-star, and his marriage was crumbling.
Right.
They just had a child, so
Okay.
it was literally everyone was blaming
It's
her
funny
for
for you
breaking.
that
Everyone
Ariana-
was everyone was blaming
As
her
usual.
for the breakdown of his marriage
Yeah.
because the ex-wife or the wife at the time was basically like, she goes, "I didn't even realize we were broken up."
Right. Okay.
So that was her issue with it. And people kind of jumped on the bandwagon with Cynthia because Cynthia also met her wife by breaking up her marriage.
Ah, okay.
And people were like, well, they actually picked the best two people to star in this movie because what they do is just leave destruction in their wake, sort of
Right.
thing.
Well,
But it's not the first time that Ariana has broken up relationships.
yeah. No, I've
And
heard
also
that
the
theory.
fact the stuff with Mac Miller as well was kind
Yeah.
of very much,
Mm-hmm.
well, you literally left the guy you were engaged to and got straight with Pete Davis, and then he said, and that's kind of like everything kind of got blamed on her for that.
Yeah,
And then
I've heard
Pete
bits and pieces
Davidson
of that.
And then wrote that song. And he didn't really take too kindly to that either. What was the song that?
Thank you. Thank you, next.
Thank you
Yeah,
next.
next, yeah.
Actually, Pete Davidson had no issue with that song. He was actually quite grateful for her.
Oh, I thought he didn't. I thought maybe it was it originally he didn't like it because like all of his friends were just going. I mean, it's about me, but it's a bit of a bop.
No, it's
That was the
literally,
whole
it was
thing.
literally, it's like his friends were making fun of him because he was turning into a Taylor Swift parody. Had
Yes.
nothing against Ariana Grande.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay.
And
That's where
he
it was
had
stopped.
never,
It's been a while though. So.
Pete Davis has never actually had a bad thing to say about her.
Yeah.
He used her in her stand-up when he actually said to her, "Do you mind if I use some jokes about this?" And she
Yeah.
was like, "Of course.
Hmm.
It's your life as well." So
Yeah.
she had no issue with that. She actually has probably, unlike Taylor Swift, she actually has a really good track record with her ex-knockout and Mac Miller, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Well, what I was going to say was
Like, he's
compliment
fucking
her.
dead, like,
Yeah,
she can't.
yeah.
But like, even still, he had no hard feelings towards her over everything.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of shit came out during that, is that she had like broken up someone's marriage, and then she broke up with the guy not that long afterwards, and it got really, really muddy. It's been like the wife had no idea
Well, they
that they'd
broke
broken
up?
Yeah. They literally dated for like 6 months. of, like,
Genuinely
shooting.
didn't. I just thought they were still going out with each
No,
other. That's how
no,
I
they've
paid
broken
by
up.
the
She's
house.
dating someone new completely.
Yeah.
So she slept with SpongeBob for 6 months and then fucked
Something
off
like
somewhere
that, and
else.
yeah, and she's like the amount of hate that she got over it.
I don't think you. Do you know that he used to play SpongeBob on a stage play?
I wasn't aware of that. No, but
It adds a layer to
it
the
does
whole
actually.
thing.
Yeah, I
That's
can
kinda
kind of
funny.
see it now. Yeah, actually,
Do you
yeah.
think he used the voice sometimes?
Yeah, I think perhaps. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
know-
so
I know
that
the
was-
original
that
voice
was
is like
kind of
that,
one,
yeah.
But it was the same thing with Cynthia. Cynthia actually
Yeah.
met her wife when she was married to somebody else, but that one was actually, I think, out as an affair.
Okay.
That was worse.
Um, and there were also a lot of worries and criticisms about Ariana Grande being cast,
Cast. Yeah.
Yeah, because she
as
wasn't.
she's a R&B, not a musical
Sorry,
star.
you can also say just that the real thing is they literally didn't like her because she wasn't white.
Yeah.
That's
She is
that's
white.
that's the real reason.
Didn't she?
She's not white.
She's not white.
No.
thought she was white.
No.
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 And that is one of the things as well that they have been commenting.
Commenting on.
This
on
happens
about
every
her.
single time as
They
well.
literally
like, yeah.
every single time she steps out on the red on the red carpet, they literally comment on, oh, she's trying to turn herself white even more than she actually. Like,
Yeah.
they literally accuse her of bleaching her skin.
Yeah, skin whitening and bleaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Was it? Do you remember? There was a
Like
there was a
they're trying
movie.
to whitewash her.
Yeah.
They also, like when you consider how big this movie is,
Yeah.
and consider the fact that Cynthia Erivo is British,
Mm.
nothing in the press.
No.
No.
Nothing said
Couldn't give
because she's
shit.
a black woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not actually.
It's the same as the issue with the boots ad.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
actually had it was the London premiere of Wicked, and Cynthia's photo wasn't used at all in it. She's a British star, and her
Mhm.
photo wasn't used at all. They literally just had the photos of Ariana Grande, and it was someone had pointed out because they had a load of photos of the two of them together,
Mm.
They just
Just
didn't.
never
and they
used
didn't
them.
use any of them. But they used pictures of Ariana Grande, and they used the pictures of Jeff Goldblum, and that was it.
Yeah.
Didn't even know he was in that movie until I saw the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plays the wizard.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's really
He
The
is.
fun.
moment I saw him as well, I was
It-
like, he definitely.
He's very Jeff Goldblum in it. Like
It's also very obvious he doesn't do his own dancing.
no.
That's fair. It
But-
fits in with the character, the way they
Yeah.
do it.
He's
all that
he's
jazz.
very good in it. Just for the
Yeah.
one or two scenes, it's like it's very Jeff Goldblum. Like
So when you
just
think of it, actually, not to be fair, for the man to not do his own dancing in it, it really does fit in with the actual wizard.
yeah, he does.
He's a
Yeah.
fucking charlatan.
All
like-
the actors are consistent with their characters.
It's
Like,
it's probably the best interpretation of the wizard of all time. And like, and, all right, Jeff. So we're gonna get you just to do this. And you go, do you know what? I don't think our character would. do
no,
that."
that I won't be doing that today. No, just not for me. No.
Life
Then
finds
just
a
to-
way.
So
Some
Ariana
people,
Grande, so she's gone full musical theatre mode.
I like that.
and she's very good.
Yeah.
Like she took a lot of pride in the work, and you can tell.
To be fair, when you see her, like when she was on, was Ariana Grande Disney or was she Nickelodeon?
Disney.
Or was she
No,
Nickelodeon?
she was Nickelodeon.
She was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Because she was involved in Quiet on Set. She was a Nickelodeon kid, not a Disney kid.
Oh, it was
Victorious.
Victorious, and the other one.
Yeah.
Did she have a spin off from Victorious?
Victoria, Vic and Kat. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
not Disney.
I get some of them mixed up because I
Yeah,
didn't grow up
oh,
with
they're all
those.
fucking nearly the same. Like.
The general child abuse, Disney, paedophilia, Nickelodeon. That's how you.
That's not
Yeah.
how I determine them.
That's how
I have
Aaron
to
did-
do it with my
that's how
fucking
Aaron
head
determines
sometimes.
them.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like Wizards of Waverly Place and Victorious look the
It's
same.
just
to me.
odd, yeah.
Oh,
I get
geez.
you.
So that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I can't.
Yeah, no, it
determine-
was only it was actually started thinking about it, I was like, no, she was definitely a Nickelodeon one.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next bit.
Yeah.
A lot of hat tips to The Wizard of Oz, to the musical. I loved their interpretations of the songs in terms of, you know, the way every
Yeah.
actress has a slightly different way of singing a song.
Yeah.
Mm. They put a lot of
Specific-
themselves in it as well. Like
Yeah.
there's
There's
a lot of personal
specific
touches.
runs like that are just they tickle that lovely little place in your ear.
yeah.
That's good.
And
It really does help.
like,
with the throat.
You can already hear it as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
even The Wizard and I, it starts quiet,
Oh, nice.
and it's like, oh,
Building. Yeah.
this idea that I've had in the back of my head, this could actually happen. No, this doesn't happen to me. But I'm here, and I'm staying, and this could actually happen. Oh, and
Yeah.
and free. Okay, this is my dream. This is what I want.
No, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Mm.
Tidbit I was given Jonathan earlier on is so her I Want song, Unlimited, same as Somewhere
Yeah.
Over the Rainbow. I didn't know that until
Did you not?
No.
I thought you knew that.
No.
Shit, if I didn't, I would have told you that. Shit, I thought
Yeah.
I assumed you knew that.
No. Oh, that is one fact I have never known.
But again, the movie kind of brings that forward a little bit. Like it's.
No, that's just me not knowing it.
Well, no, but like
It came up on a
But there's a
TikTok.
lot of, but the Wizard of Oz stuff is kind of like it is there but not there, if you know what I mean. Where like there's a few like it's a passing glance of like
Of a
this,
shot.
or like, or there's a one there there was a shot there where when the in the scene in Shiz where they up like she shows off her powers and that remember the emblem breaks up. I was like, ooh, Oh, hello. Yeah, that shit was good.
Little blink and you miss it.
Blink and the Miss
Yeah.
stuff. The Blink and the Miss stuff was very good.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the few times where I really appreciate a new movie for having detail. Because sometimes they don't bother with new movies and TV shows don't bother with detail anymore because. Meh. But this is a movie that went, Joe, fuck it, we're doing it the right way, the old-fashioned way,
See, here's
and
the
you
thing
can
is
tell.
here's the thing as well though with Wicked. So Wicked has a very loyal.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, let me phrase this. Sorry, Wicked the musical has a very very loyal fan base.
Yeah.
Right.
Obsessive.
To the extent where had they not have been, had they deferred from the musical,
Ah yeah, there would have been
Chaos.
war. Yeah.
Anarchy.
Right?
Riots.
that movie would have flopped so hard
Yeah.
that actually Ariana Grande would never have come back from it.
There wouldn't have been part 2.
No, they would have
They
still
would have done the
I
second
would have
one,
done- I
and
know,
the
yeah,
proper
yeah.
would have
Right?
been, yeah.
They would have had to have done it, but it would have cost them so much money
Yeah.
in the end run. Is that like literally they actually have to stick that to as much as the musical as
Definitely,
they possibly can. An awful lot of musical movie adaptations get out of that
Yeah.
because they kind of can get out of that because well, okay, Les Mis can't, because Les Mis, you can't cut a song out of Les Mis because you're cutting a story.
That's it. It's all intertwined.
Right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to watch that. Les Mis is a 2 hours and 25-minute show, not including the intermission.
Yeah.
The movie Miz is 2 hours and 25 minutes long. Okay? There is nothing that gets cut out of that. Rent, some things get cut out.
Yeah.
But then again, it is some things, as much as I love Halloween, it is stuff that, okay, this is actually just going to slow down the movie. And you have to keep that pace. And it was the same that they got rid of. But they still include Halloween in the actual movie. in a
Sure.
sense.
They just have it as like more of a coda rather
Exactly.
than
Yeah,
a full
yeah.
song.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's also during the scene when they're trying to find Mimi. What's the fucking song that's playing? It's a reprisal of
Rise.
something, but it's the no. They have actually got the music. They have the music playing in the background of a song that was coming, and it just can't not for the life of me think what song it was.
Yeah.
But they have it in the background, so it's like, right, we're not actually doing the full song here, but we've included it. We're just not doing the lyrics, but it's included.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they kind of do it that way. Phantom of the Opera is another one. They you can't really cut anything out of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Because
So-
it
And
speaks to
Andrew Lloyd Webber took the opportunity of the movie to bulk out his
Exactly, yeah. They did the sequel out of
his
that, wasn't it?
no to,
No.
Yeah, well, no to bulk out the orchestra.
Yeah.
So when he wrote Phantom of the Opera, he wrote it taking into account that he would be limited in orchestra that he could hire. So for the film, he could use a full orchestra.
Exactly.
So he bulked out his
every
libretto.
but
on every wing essentially
yeah,
was there.
but
yeah.
like the point is like it doesn't get anything cut out of it.
Yeah. That's
Like
fair.
that's the kind of point in it. So like some musicals, when if they're doing it from a film adaptation of a musical, everything has to be added in.
Yeah.
They add in so much more because it's like, okay, this movie's only an hour and 30 minutes long. Or if it's specifically Disney musicals that they do for adaptations, they get like, right, we're gonna have to add songs into this. The Lion
Yeah.
King is a great one for it, right? So the Lion King actually have so many songs that they can actually use because they take the sequel songs. So Simba's Pride, which is direct to video sequel for Disney for kids in the 90s. Yous know who yous are. You fucking Kovu lovers. Yous know who yous are because I'm fucking one of them, right? And that movie, so like He Lives in You is from Simba's Pride, and they have it in the Lion King musical. So it's like, this is actually a fucking cracker song.
Yeah, it fits well.
And He
yeah.
Lives in You is a fucking banger of a song.
It is. Yeah.
The fact that there's one song in Simba's Pride that it's basically they exile Kovu. Have you ever seen Simba's Pride? Oh my god! There is a fucking song and a half, right? So there's literally Kiara is Simba's daughter. Spelled with a K, not a C.
I know.
Right? Is Simba's daughter. She falls in love with Kovu. Kovu is thought to have been Scar's heir,
Yeah.
I have seen that.
right? And do you know what I'm saying? deception,
You
disgrace,
deserve
evil is plain. That Zebra
Yeah.
had no right going as hard as she does, but it's a fucking tune and a half. I was like, Jesus, the direct-to-video Disney sequels, the fucking soundtracks are absolutely banging on them, and you're just
Yeah.
like, I need to see this live. But they do use an awful lot of the Simba's Pride ones in the Lion King musical, and it's grand because it's like, it's not filler in it in a sense. There's only, I think, one song
Yeah.
that was written for the stage show, and it's Nala's song,
Okay. Fair enough.
Shadowlands. That's the only one that's actually written that's not included in the movies, but the music is already there.
Fair enough.
So they literally just took the music and went, right, let's fucking put lyrics to this and actually explain why Nala ends up how she ends up finding Simba.
Yeah.
And that explains it. Because you need that. You kind of need the context. You're like, well, how the fuck did she just go on a hunt really, really fucking far away from Pride Lands? Or are they actually just around the corner? Like, you need to kind of understand the context of this. So it does explain in the musical, okay, Nala literally, at the agreement of all the lionesses, they've decided you need to go and fucking find us some help. And that's where Shadowlands is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fucking beautiful song, and it's really like, it's stunning the way it's done. And then that kind of encounters, like, that kind of bridges the gap as to how she finds Simba, as opposed to in the Disney animated version where she's just hunting Timon and Pumbaa. Like, it adds, like, it
Fair enough,
gives you
yeah,
the
yeah.
context for it, and it's great in that sense. But that's like kind of what you need. Whereas with some musicals like Les Mis, like Phantom of the Opera, West Side Story, like, you can't cut your Wicked, you can't cut shit from it.
Yeah. Agreed.
And
yeah.
if you do cut it, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. I feel like
That's
that.
the decision that they made. John and Chu in one of the interviews was like, there was no way we could cut anything without damaging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, why would you get rid of it as well? Like, what are you losing there? Like, you're losing too much. Like,
Yeah.
you're cutting for time. And again, it's not as if the movie's an egregious like length. It's like 2.5 hours. That's solid.
It
Absolutely
flew.
fine. It flew through. Fucking
Yeah.
flew through. It really, really did.
When I would take it songs over stuff as well, I know it's not the same, but it's like when they did Beauty and the Beast. So when they had the cartoon, made a live action one, it somehow went 45 minutes longer while taking out big chunks of the original movie that end up hampering the story, and the longer bit doesn't really add anything to the original story.
Did you-
I'm actually going to be honest here. I actually don't mind the live action version of Beauty and the
I
Beast.
like it.
I like it.
Um,
Now,
And
in
here's
saying
the
that-
argument, you're both fucking wrong.
in saying that though, I like Beauty
no,
and the
I
Beast.
prefer the cartoon.
Yeah,
It's,
it'd be
Beauty and the
fun.
Beast animated is probably my favorite Disney movie. Belle
Mm.
is my favorite Disney princess. My dog is named after her, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Like, she is my favorite Disney princess. It is always going to be my top movie to go back to. But I don't believe that the live action movie deserved as much hate as it got, because it actually isn't a bad movie.
I think a lot of people just wince when they
considered
see a live
some of the
action.
versions of live action.
Yeah,
It's
this is
doing
what I
so
was going to
much.
say.
I'll be
I
honest
think
as
everyone
well.
winces when they see a live action
Like,
edition
I'll-
of something you loved as a child.
I'll be honest as well.
So.
When it comes to the stage show of Beauty and the Beast, not a fan.
Yeah.
It's very neat.
It's very like, I've seen it once. I have no intentions of ever
Yeah.
seeing this again.
Yeah.
And at least with the Lion King one, it does something very different. Like, it has its own unique like aesthetic.
Yes.
It's like, that is absolutely
It is
phenomenal.
artistic.
Yeah.
It's artistic,
There's
exactly,
like-
and you have to do something similar to something that you
There's-
know so well.
There's very few
Yeah.
musicals where I will actually go back and be like, I'm going to watch this every fucking time it's here.
Fair, yeah.
Right? Very few musicals where I'd be like, oh,
This is where we contrast. I go to.
oh
every
sorry,
musical
sorry,
again.
I got to rephrase that. There's very few musicals that I would go back to again, as opposed to there's only few I will. Sorry, so it's very few I won't go back and see again. For
Right.
example, I have never in my life ever going to want to see Cats live ever again.
I've never seen it live.
I don't recommend it. I actually do not recommend it.
Cats is very much a Marmite show.
Oh my god, Cats was shit. Right? It's like
It's
bad
a
as
very
the
much
movie,
product
or-
of its time.
It's
I've
horrific.
never watched the movie.
Do you know what?
Never watched
Right?
it. Never
The
will.
thing about the movie is they don't really know what they're trying to do. Okay.
How long are we recording this, by the way?
We've still got 20 minutes left, and I'm gonna let. I think Amy's gonna talk about Cats.
Alright. Cats the movie. I'm just gonna make this one point about Cats the movie. The cats in that movie are supposed to be the size of domesticated cats. Okay? They're meant to be the size of cats. how they movie is shot. They're like, oh, it's from the cat's point of view, so that's where the camera angle is. At one point, one of the cats is sitting next to a cake that's supposed to be this size, that's supposed to be decided to scale of what a cake is, and the cat is bigger than the fucking cake.
Okay.
Right? It also has James Corden in it.
Which is already just a massive
Right.
L.
The editing of the movie Cats is horrifically done because in a couple of scenes, Judi Dench is still wearing her wedding ring.
Which, didn't they have to re-edit the
They
movie?
didn't re-edit it. They didn't re-edit it. In the
Oh.
final cut of this movie, she's wearing her wedding ring.
Right. That's what
Right.
butthole cover of that movie.
Right? They sexualized so many of the cats and gave them tits and asses, whereas they actually didn't do it for all of them. Jason Derulo actually complained.
I thought it was Drake for a second. No, yes,
Jason Derulo complained that they took his cock out in post production. They were like, I was really happy with how my dick looked in that, and they were like, we had to get it out of it. So like, it's amazing some of the shit that they did, and some of the shit that they didn't, and it still turned out to be a piece of shit.
So bad, even God sent a virus to punish us all.
And the movie Cats, to say it's a product of its time is one thing, but it's
I like the musical itself.
Oh, the musical, right.
It's a product of its time.
It's a fucking LSD fever dream. You have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on, right? To the extent where people who turn around and say it's fucking great, I'm pretty sure you were high going into watch it.
Yeah.
I actually don't believe anyone who had seen Cats for the first time was sober. There was alcohol, there was drugs, there was something in your system for you to go in and go, that was fucking incredible. That was amazing. Bullshit.
But they were just high on life in.
No.
No. Wouldn't have been sufficient.
Right?
I totally accept that. That's absolutely fine.
I
don't like all of the songs of it. I like
even with like, it's one of those things. Is like, if you're,
I think
like,
I think its place is a song in a variety show.
Yes.
Not memories.
Yes. Like, it is literally, it's one of those things, like, if you do go and see it just to say you've seen it, that's okay, I can understand doing that, but I guarantee you it will never be something that you'll ever go back and see again, and you'll probably be disappointed in how much you've spent on a ticket to see it. It's just one of those shows where
was Cats Broadway or West?
Broadway. Broadway.
Both.
No, but where did it start first?
West End, I think.
Was it the West End? Yeah.
Usually with Andrew Lloyd Webber, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, no, it's
and like
one of those ones.
Starlight Express.
I'm
They've got the new version.
I'm
now
worried
in
for
Wembley.
you. I'm worried for you if you go to see that.
I don't know whether or not I'm going.
Yeah, I'm actually worried for you if you do decide to go and see
Apparently, Colin Amy do it a little bit drunk, have a bit of buzz.
it. No,
Is it a different
Starlight
show?
Express is a different show.
Oh,
But they've changed it.
Completely rejigged
So
it. Now,
Kira is looking at Starlight Express for the original stage show. Right? That's the eyes that she wants to see it through. They don't do that anymore.
And it's not even that I want to see it that way. It's that they're the songs that you've... Because we were having this conversation the other day about Miss Saigon and that they've changed some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reasoning behind it. That's all grand, that's all fine.
That's fine, that makes sense.
They have changed up Starlight Express. And I've only seen clips on TikTok. I've only seen little bits and pieces. They have changed and added in characters. Again, I saw Starlight Express in the early 2010s in the Borgosh. So that is itself a reinvention of the original Starlight Express. So it's not the original that I've seen. But that's the one that I've listened to a lot.
Yeah.
They've changed characters entirely. To the point I'm not sure. Because one of the songs that I love is the Boxcars song. There's no Boxcars no more. And I don't know, and I'm hoping this comes across correctly. It seems as if it's gone in the direction of woke for woke's sake.
Yeah.
And
I saw that. I actually saw that on some of the TikToks. I think I know what you're talking about.
And
so
that has me worried. Just that they've changed.
I'll be honest with you. I saw a TikTok and I went from to.
Yeah. I am all for updating. I'm all for, like, I don't give a rat's. Like,
I'll be honest. The only one that I actually would have no qualm about would actually be the Miss Saigon one.
Yeah.
Because
there was reasons for that.
Yeah. You wouldn't have seen it.
No.
Do you know of it?
I know of Miss Saigon, but I haven't watched it.
genuinely didn't know. I've heard the name Miss Saigon before.
Yeah,
but
same,
if you
yeah.
tell me actually what it was, I wouldn't know.
If you don't do anything other than this, after this chat, please listen to the song Buidoi. I will send you the link. It is a stunning song.
I will
that should
say
be listened to.
one of my I'm actually going to point this out, okay, because one of the most
We're going to
takeaway.
just switch as well after this because it's what, only 20 minutes left?
We got around
I don't want to
50.
cut you off. No, it's just that I wanted to, because we still got to do me and then we still got to do you too.
Oh,
What you watched.
I'm at this point now.
This is kind of yours now, or have you got a?
I did have another thing. I'll be able to rush through that very quickly.
Sure.
The only thing I will say about this stage show, Miss Saigon, is like no matter how many, if they do change it to be politically correct, there's one thing about that stage show that will always stick with you, no matter what happens, and it's a helicopter scene, right? And it's one of those things was like when you're sitting in the Bord Gáis Theatre, and then all of a sudden the wind machines turn on, and you look at the stage, and the helicopter is coming down. No bullshit. Like, granted, you can't see propellers. Obviously, there is none. But you feel propellers,
Yeah.
and you're looking at it, and you're like, how the fuck did you get this in here? And it is probably, it's one of the scenes of the musical that will stick with you throughout the whole thing. And then you actually remember what the story that you just watched were, and then you're just like,
So I seen it in the 3.02 when it was the point,
yeah,
when they actually had a helo.
yeah, like that.
And so full size.
Yeah.
And that one scene is based on the footage of Saigon that everybody knows of the
When they're
people
all trying to get up to the helicopters.
trying to get at the fence, trying to get to that helicopter. And
to get out.
it is
It sticks with you. Like,
visceral.
like it fucking sticks with you. I
Um,
had goosebumps just thinking about that.
Yeah. And when she says, "Do not touch my boy," oh, shivers. No matter which actress says it, because they get that.
Jesus.
Yep.
I hope the camera's catching
Like
the
that. That is literally just we're talking about it.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
visibly
That's,
see.
like that is the type of effect that shit should leave on you. I only found out very recently that not everybody gets goosebumps when they hear certain songs.
Yeah.
Only
Those people
certain-
are missing out.
Yeah, I was like, I actually realised some people don't have the actual full body effect of when they
Yeah.
hear something for the first time, and it literally sends shivers down your spine and gives you goosebumps.
Not even for the first time. There are certain songs that when they
I
certain
hear them
words,
over and over again. It's like
every time there are certain songs, doesn't matter what, tears.
Bring Him Home and Empty Chairs at Empty Tables for me always have the same reaction for me, and I'm
Are we
gone.
sure she's not ill, no?
No, she's fine. She's like this all the time.
They're getting progressively worse.
That
that was
how much long time have we got left?
12 minutes. Well,
Okay.
12 minutes plus change. So 12 minutes routine.
So I'll jump onto to what I was watching. That was actually a really, really good conversation.
That was great.
I totally and utterly recommend Wicked, even if you're not into musicals.
Excellent.
That was a lovely musical chat, by the way.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And a little promo for eventually when I do get to
Now you can
Yeah,
have your
we're
phone
really
back.
are going
and when I actually have no, gimme.
What? I just want to check the
literally
score.
about to fucking
don't
talk
want-
about
No,
my
no,
stuff, and you
don't
gave
want
him
to
his
don't
phone.
want
check
to
the
know.
score. Give me the phone.
Hand her the
Sorry,
phone.
I don't know whether
Thank
that's if you're not looking at your phone or you don't.
You don't want to know.
No,
Sorry.
you
The
don't
fact
want
of
to.
the fact is I literally took away the phone because he wasn't paying attention, and as soon as it was getting to my part, you're like, there, you can have your phone back. You fucking prick. Right?
I did it for the punchline.
You know, you did it because you were fucking weren't thinking.
Bold.
So, what I've been watching is, so I have been very, very slowly trying to desensitize myself to clowns,
Yes.
right? We haven't reached it yet. But I have watched all 3 Terrifier movies,
Okay.
right? And I have got to say that they are probably some of the best horror movies I have seen in a long, long time, right? And not because of storyboards and stuff like that, because the second one kind of does actually have a bit of a story to it, that the third one does follow up on it. The first one is kind of seen, could kind of be its own throwaway thing on it, but taking out the main protagonist being Art the Clown, the effects in these movies are proper old school
Practical
effects.
Very nice, yes.
Right? And I understand that some people don't like these type of movies when it's gore for the sake of gore.
Yeah.
And it's like very over the top, and it's very, very disgusting. And there is some scenes where I was just like, "Ugh, that is phenomenally done though."
Yeah.
Like, there's a particular scene in a shower that's in Terrifier 3 that is done, and you're just kind of like, oh, he's not going to. Is he going? Oh my god, he's going to do it! And you see the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you see that chainsaw rip through, and you're just like,
think
you
I
know
may
exactly,
have seen that
you
clip.
know exactly what clip I'm talking about. Because if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Because the fact of the matter is that the male genitalia is like, I've seen cutting of the inside of what this looks like, sort of thing, and you're like, wow, they actually have that done anatomically correctly done. I like that is fucking phenomenal. Like to go into something and see that type of like detail in a movie, you're just like, this is actually great. And it kind of for me at this point, because I've seen mainly every single fucking horror movie in the world now at this point. Like I watch every horror film that comes out.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of them and how the effects are done and how shit they are and how many of them rely on CGI and they don't do practical effects anymore. But the Terrifier movies really do practical effects. They really, really do it over the top, and it's just really like, for a fan of the genre that I am, I just adore, like as a fan of like Rick Baker and Tom Savini that I am, to be able to see people actually doing and Screaming Man George, like to see the effects come into it as well as they do, you're just kind of like, it does take me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, for a movie like this where the protagonist is probably one of my most irrational fears, it's probably the best way for me to look at to watch a movie where a clown is the main villain and the protagonist in it. It is a good way for me to be able to kind of take myself out of the movie. I kind of forget that he's the one that's doing it, and I'm solely focused on I love how this is made.
Yeah.
I actually adore how they've done the effects, and the main kind of his kind of sidekick in the movie being Victoria, who is she's from the first movie, and her face is completely gone and cut off, and it's literally you're just left with an eye socket and just there is some things what happens with her with a piece of glass, and you're just kind of like, ugh, you're gone. Like I could have done without that now, to be honest with you. But like the effect otherwise, it's just so fucking well done. And I really love the fact that he's doing a fourth one that's set at Easter. I'm just like, the third one was a Christmas movie.
Is the Easter Bunny not safe either?
No, it's not, right? Like how, like I know for a fact that he's never going to watch this, but there's a scene in a bar where he meets a mall Santa Claus. And they basically tell Art the Clown, no, Santa needs a beard. You can't be Santa because you don't have a beard. So he fucking cuts that beard off. The skin and everything, so he can put it on his own face. And the effects that it's done, you're just like, that is so well done. Because it looks so fucking real. Yeah. And it's those types of things, I adore that in horror movies. I'd much prefer if you go to practical effect route. The other movies that I decided to watch to desensitize myself to clowns was the Hell House series. Okay. It's on Shudder. So it's Hell House, Hell House 2, Hell House 3, and there is fucking subtitles to them. I can't remember what it is. And then the Hell House Origins, which is the Carmichael Manor, which is actually really good. It's kind of like a prequel sequel. But these ones are done as found footage documentary sort of thing. So it's basically, Hell House is a haunted house company who set up in Rockford at an abandoned hotel called the Abaddon Hotel, and it's basically them setting up this haunted house. Oh, okay. That on opening night there was a mysterious incident that happened that killed several visitors and the entire team of this haunted house company. Yeah. And it's basically interview footage with the surviving member of the company, who in turn, he's never gonna watch this, who in turn actually turn out, no, you're not gonna watch it, you won't fucking, do you have Shudder?
No, but it's not.
Then you're not gonna, no, it's not.
Oh, isn't it?
No, you have to actually have Shudder.
Oh.
So it's Sarah Harville, who is like the survivor who goes into interview with Diane. She basically says, so you should really go and try and see the crime scene for yourselves. And it's done so well that you kind of forget that you're watching something that's fictional, because you're like, oh shit, this is actually really well done. The interviews, the doc, and like the specialists that they have for the experts and stuff is really good.
That's cool.
And it turns out that Sarah has been dead the whole time. So you actually see the footage of her death, and she's now convinced these people to go to the hotel. So they literally, so at the end of the movie, cuts with Diane and the cameraman are now reported missing.
Oh, very good.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so the second one then picks up on this. So the last surviving member of the documentation, that like Diane's crew, Mitch, he didn't go to the hotel. He
Yeah.
stayed back to watch the footage. And you actually see him in the movie ring her to try and tell her to get the fuck out of there because Sarah's dead.
Yeah.
Because he saw Sarah's death and he's trying to get them out of there. They doesn't get them in time. So it's them basically like on a talk show called Mystery. Oh my god, what's it called? Something Mysteries. And they're doing an interview with the owner of the hotel, or he's a guy that kind of sits on the council with Mitch and with a paranormal investigator, and they're talking about the hotel and they're showing other clips of people who have gone, or other shit strange stuff that's happened and people who have gone missing at this, and Mitch is very much like, don't fucking go here. And then another crew are like, no, we want to.
Yeah.
They're more like trying to paint Mitch out to be a fraud. They're
Okay.
trying to expose him for lying about this, so they feel, let's get him back to the hotel and do it that way. And shit starts happening with this crew, and again it's like one of the girls is telling them like what had happened. She's explaining to it, and at the end of like the movie it says one of you is going to make it out of here because we need people to spread this. We need more souls to come to the hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
So the girl who is telling them all this, she's fucking bloodied up, like she's been through hell. You can tell she's been through hell. And then a camera kind of like cuts a little bit and you can see the face and you're like, shit, she's fucking one of them.
Yeah.
And it kind of continues on that way. And then the third one is very much like nothing has happened at the hotel. Everything is going on. This kind of rich dude is deciding to bring Foss back to this. They're basically doing a stage show, an interactive stage show. He knows the history of the hotel because he's trying to stop it himself. And it's a bit shit. The third one is actually very shit on this. Russell Wynn is not a great character, but she's Morning Mysteries, that was the name of the show. But the new host is there. She's very skeptic about actually going into the hotel because she likes when they go in, you do not come out.
Yeah.
But as they go in, literally everything that could go wrong goes wrong. The entire crew, everyone is murdered. You are watching a mass murder happening on the thing, and then all of a sudden everyone's back alive, and they're like, what the fuck happened? So Russell Wynn figured out a way of how to break the spell, to close the gate of hell, and he does it. And then at the very end of it, you see the original Hell House crew, and they're all like waking up. Like Sarah's off the floor from where her throat was slit. Paul is back up, and they're all like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? This is great. And they're trying to leave the hotel.
Oh.
And the doors are locked and they can't understand why. And Russell Wynn like comes in to see it, and he's like, no, you, the dude with the original like director of the Hell House, he goes, no, you damned your friends. Yous can't leave here. But yous will no longer suffer what yous were suffering. But yous are stuck here in the hotel. Yous will never get free. Yeah, it's basically purgatory,
yeah.
right? Which is hilarious because one of the characters is like, fuck! And then someone else goes, do you think there's still beer in the bar downstairs? And they just fuck off. They accept it. They just go down. And they just like go down to the bar.
It's like, well,
It's like, what else can we
Yeah.
do? It's like, fuck it, let's just go to the bar. And then there's one then, so the next one that comes out in the series is called, it's Hell House's Origin, the Carmichael Hotel. And the Carmichael Manor. And it's a true crime woman. She's basically the Carmichael Manor. The family were murdered in the house. The dad went missing. The son went missing. Everyone assumes the dad killed them.
Yeah.
Killed the family and took the son's body and killed him somewhere else. He's never been found. So they go to the house. They decide, we're going to spend the night. They spend a week here. We're going to investigate it. And then obviously, of course, strange shit starts happening in the house.
Naturally.
They find a locked room that has these clown statues in it. They're the same clowns that are in the Abaddon Hotel from the first movies.
Okay,
right?
so you know this connected.
So there's the connection to this, and they're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Why would anyone have this in the house? They don't know any of this about the Abaddon though.
Yeah.
So they then go to an antique store. They see a clock that was taken from the Abaddon. One of the girls knows there's a hidden compartment in this clock, so they take it, open it, and they find a lot of shit inside it.
Okay.
And they're like, oh my god, we're probably going to solve mysteries of what happened at the Abaddon, of like the whole like suicide pacts or whatever happened there. When they find all the information, it's actually the Carmichael family. That all this stuff in. They're like, how the fuck did this get into a clock into this hotel when there's no real connections to it? So the clown, obviously, statue thing kind of comes to life. He's the one that's doing like the stalking of the kings. Everyone dies in the end. It's great. They actually do really good death scenes in this. It's brilliant. But when you look back over the footage that had been sent that someone in like New York or something is looking at, you actually realise that Patrick Carmichael, who was the witness that flipped, that called the girl in the second the second movie, oh, this is where you'll find all the evidence, this is where where Tully did everything. He was the one that flipped because he was the one that actually killed everyone.
Right, so that's how he
So
precipitates the circle of violence.
Basically, he keeps going back. So at the end of the Carmichael movie, you realise he's actually the one that's in the clown costume the whole time. And it's the way the whole thing just does a full circle between 4 movies. Like, it's actually really good how they managed to kind of wrap up. The first movie is probably the best one, and the origin Carmichael is probably really good. The other 2 are very hit and miss, but to understand the full story, you have to watch all of them.
Fair, yeah.
But they've announced that there's going to be a new movie called Legion, Hell House Legion, I think, or Lineage, something like that. It's going to be called. I've only seen the teaser trailer for it. I'm very excited to actually see what they're going to do next.
Okay, interesting.
So it's normally the found footage ones. I felt that they had run their course, but at this point, I'm like, shit, I'm actually really back into this again.
Yeah. Deadly.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Sorry, that went on a little bit longer.
No, that's actually we're still on time. We're in our entry time now. So, Owen,
That must have hurt.
that's a sonic boom. It doesn't hurt.
I know.
She's not that's not snapping her fingers.
I
there.
know.
That's
Well, I
artist
can't do
placement.
it. I can't do it when I'm like doing it all. Like, but when I go,
Oh, woke up dog.
oh, sorry, dog.
Woke up dog.
Fart on him.
Don't fart to me. I was hoping
Plonk.
by the time we had recorded this, I'd have finished off Superman and those, and ended that chapter of DC television before the new one started. But for some reason, the second last episode is not available online without audio description over it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Cannot find a perfect copy of it fucking anywhere. So that's delayed until one pops up online,
Okay.
which is a fucking shame, because I do kind of want to finish it off, because that's the end of DC CW television.
Right.
That's
That's
it.
the end
It's
of
gone
it,
on
yeah.
for 10 years. Starts with fucking nearly 20 years. Starts with Superman, ends with Superman.
Can't give out to him for being
Yeah, no, but the difference is starts with Superman, ends with Superman. That's the end of the
I know.
DC
Yeah, I know.
network on the CW. I can actually multitask. He can't.
I know.
I love how you were like, "Fuck." She actually did repeat
Stop.
everything.
So,
I could see you were like,
yeah, so I haven't finished off that yet. Me and Chloe did finish off the Orville before I found out, as we were watching the last episode, there's a 4th season getting filmed in January. So there's a big gap again between the last 2 seasons.
to be fair, they did get cancelled. And
Yeah.
then they did get.
Actually, the first 2 seasons only had about an 18-month gap in between the 2 of them. What fucked up season 2 and 3 was COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Which-
but they got cancelled after season 4. That's why there's actually a massive gap. They had to wait until someone picked them up again.
No, it's on Disney again, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what Amy is saying, is that they had to get picked up again. So they were cancelled by the original network.
Okay,
then
right.
to
All
buy
right.
it.
I thought
They
it
were
got
actually-
switched. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's
'cause
yeah.
originally it was Fox. I know that, like, they own that now. It was FX that it was originally
It
shown on.
was, wasn't it?
Yeah, they got cancelled,
And
so
then-
they
and
had
then-
to wait.
Yeah.
There was talks on that, like, Disney had kind of been saying that, yeah, we'll bring it up, and
Yeah.
Seth had to kind of petition, the fans had to petition Disney to pull the fucking
be-
finger out and do it
To
now.
be fair, it's one of the best sci-fi shows ever.
It's pretty good. I need to get. I watched bits and bobs of the Orphan, and I want to get probably
Orville
stuck
is
into it.
actually, shockingly, for someone who hates like those types of sci-fi
Yeah.
shows, I actually enjoy it.
It's fucking brilliant.
I think it's because it knows it's a sci-fi show and kind of leans into it as well.
It does. It is very much a Star Trek. Well, I haven't watched too much of Star Trek. It seems to be just a fan movie for Star Trek. But very much by the time we're halfway through season
That's
2.
how it started. Is the thing. That's like that's like the elevator pitch was like a. But you know what? I think it's like how did Galaxy Quest start? Was Galaxy Quest a spoof on the start? Was a spoof on Star Trek? Yes, but it's also a spoof on sci-fi generally, without going the kind of Spaceballs route.
I genuinely thought it was actually a thing on conventions.
Yeah, but that's like that would be Trekkies though as well. So like it's the Galaxy Quest is like let's tick all the sci-fi trope boxes but make something original.
Yeah.
And the Orville I think was like, okay, let's make something original but tick off the sci-fi
Yeah,
boxes
and
in the
eventually it
process.
ends up going along this whole other fucking.
You see, Seth MacFarlane's a fucker because he's such a very good writer. He doesn't realise how well he writes characters. And then by the time you get to like when you get to write when you get to need to write more material, the source material, the stuff is already there in place.
Yeah.
You know, kind of way. And that's again sometimes the joy of the genre as well. If we're going full, she knows she's young. Like if we're going full circle, like again, it's one of those genres that leans into having really full-fledged characters and multi-layered characters and duplicitous people and all these different things.
But it I can't wait for the next series.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
They've built up a good couple of storylines as well.
Yeah.
Where
and they don't do terribly many episodes either, which is it's a good sign of good efficient writing as well.
16 I think is the most they do. I think that's season 2. I think
that's pretty good. Like though, that's like yeah. It's
and they had obviously your generic like one unit except for that bastard, and then eventually they switch the bastard.
Yeah.
As the 3 seasons go on, and as I set up the 4th season, which I would imagine will probably be the last to be.
Who knows?
Really fucking good. I'm only just assuming it because it's taken so long to get from 3 to 4, and he's also got to do voice work for Family Guy. American Dad seems to hit a second fucking wind all of a sudden.
Yeah. And that happens every now and then though. Yeah. It's a little flit start and then it starts again. Yeah.
People come back into money.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For funding.
For funding, exactly. Yeah.
I'd imagine it's going to take just a little bit of time. So I would imagine maybe he'll just finish it at 4 because it's like, what's the point in doing 3 seasons over 7 years?
See, I wouldn't necessarily say he'll be done with that because like you can't really like it's for someone like McFarlane in particular who's like one of the last auteurs when it comes to like having his way with a show, right? You don't get the likes of him anymore because everything's done by committee. Or it's like a name is almost like an anchor to it. So it's like, oh, he's doing it. Fuck that! I don't want to watch his stuff. So like McFarlane's one of the few. Zack Snyder, exactly. In fairness, again, that's Marvelitis as well. Sometimes this is the fact like or DCitis if you prefer.
But you're even look.
Jesus Christ, they are getting worse. Fucking hell.
The 4th part.
It was like a slow punch right into the face.
The best part is she started wagging her tail because she's like, oh, Amy's back. Waft that into Aaron's
I've noticed it. Sorry.
But like you can take into consideration The Witcher and Henry Cavill.
Great example.
The second that Henry Cavill was no longer attached to the project, people dropped like flies.
Yeah, and that sometimes it's something like that can happen. So what I say is I think it's the opposite with Seth MacFarlane. I think once he has any level of like a notion of what he'd like to do, if he has an idea, if he has a thought, it's gonna go down into the little black book and he'll write it eventually in his own time. So I wouldn't say the Orville's dead and buried after season 4. I'd say it might be the case where like, okay, now I've got something to work with for season 5. Flesh it out. I've got my episodes, pitch and go.
Yeah.
So
maybe,
you might be waiting an extra year, but that's not much in terms of
you
sci-fi.
You should be used to waiting for shit like that though, would considering how long we have to wait for the voice.
Well, that's a good example though as well.
At least I mean,
I know that them rushing it either.
That's what I mean. If it's going to be done, let it be done well.
It's
the only show that does prestige television that is giving a season every year since it started has been The Bear. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop with season 4. We're getting season 4 next year.
But you know why? Because they put the effort into writing the characters.
Yeah. Putting the effort into writing shit, getting it out, not fucking about.
Yeah.
Just A to B.
Yeah.
Fucking yes.
Right then, Aaron, take it home.
No, I've watched other shit, but I need to get through it. Not my fault you told me. I'm not going to add an extra half an hour onto this. Let's be real.
We are in out of time here, my friend.
I've also watched. I started rewatching Skins. Because Chloe wanted to rewatch it for some reason.
You can also hold some of these over for your next. By the way.
I suppose I could, yeah, but I don't think there wasn't even that much I actually watched that. Like.
You did actually start the episode by saying I haven't watched
it. We watched something. Me and Chloe watch something every fucking night, but we started rewatching It's Always Sunny.
Do you have an opinion on it as well?
Yeah, we started rewatching It's Always Sunny. She took a bit of time to get into it, but she's finally there on season 4. She eventually got hooked. Well, that's not her humour, so it took a while for the humour to click with her.
I know, but you made her watch 4 seasons.
I make her watch it. She actually was very much like, I'll stick with it. Because she also finds out with personal lives the fucking actors, and that hooks her as well. You know what I mean? That's how she gets hooked. But other than that, yeah, there wasn't really a lot more than I fucking watched. Other than Dirty Rotten Scoundrel.
Oh.
I watched that. Which is Steve Martin and who played the Butler in Batman. The Christian Bale ones. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah. They're too
I only
kind.
found out recently after like doing The Simpsons rewatched that the character who plays Homer in like Mr. Burns' heir is meant to be Michael Caine.
Meant to be. I love
Yeah.
as well as the thing.
It's
Are
meant
you
to be.
sure?
Yeah,
Is he sure?
It's like,
She does.
I mean, what the
I have
bloody hell
so
am I
much.
doing here?
Mhm.
Is literally the line that he plays.
Just
He's-
pegging it, she's
Sorry,
fine.
Kath. I was like, holy shit, it's meant to be Michael
Sorry.
Caine.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah, that's it.
That was a good episode.
And see, no arguments started by me.
You on your phone.
Except, but I mean about the TV shows. I didn't disagree with anything that you said. Took everything fucking in. I didn't fucking, cause a fucking argument this time because I was a good boy, and I didn't do it. And I didn't bring up Seinfeld in the movie.
Don't
You
bring
just
your-
did. You just brought Seinfeld.
Yeah, and don't bring
But-
your kinks into this conversation.
What?
Don't bring your kinks into this conversation. You called yourself a good boy. I've seen the TikToks you sent me.
Yeah.
That's in it there. But this was
Finishing
good.
this.
This was good. My hand is getting licked off. I'm losing layers of skin as we go along.
She has got a very rough tongue.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She's
Yeah,
getting really
talk
into it as
to
well.
her.
Fucking hell. But yeah, this was
I've
a
already
fun
told you how
episode.
to stop her.
Do you know what? I don't mind it.
They're bonding.
No, but yeah, it's better
Thanks
than
for
getting
joining
barked at
us.
and growled at and looked
We'll
at.
see you next time.
We'll see. Hey,
on,
hey, hey,
what are we watching?
hey!
And it's been don't upset the dog. Don't upset the dog. And we'll see you the next time. Thank you and good night. That's it. We're done.
Wait, I need to wash my hands.